Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with John Kay and Sally Nugent.
Morning, here are your headlines at 6.
A baby has been born using 3 people's DNA for the first time in the UK. Clean-up operations are underway this morning after heavy storms and flash flooding caused widespread disruption in parts of England yesterday.
Lawyers for the Duke of Sussex and 3 other alleged victims of phone hacking begin a 7-week trial today.
Prince Harry is one of a number of high-profile figures bringing damages against the Mirror Group newspapers and is expected to give evidence in person next month. Here's our Home Affairs correspondent, Tom Simons. Now, after months of anticipation, I don't know if you've heard, have we mentioned it?
I think we did.
The Eurovision Song Contest finally kicked off in Liverpool last night with the first semi-final.
Now, the UK's entry, May Muller, is already guaranteed a spot in the final on Saturday. So last night it was 15 other acts from across Europe taking part in the first semi-final, competing for a chance to join her. And our entertainment correspondent Colin Patterson was there.
And coming up in the programme, about 10 to 8 this morning, we have a very special chat with the one and only Holly Johnson from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, because of course they reformed, didn't they, for the first time in decades on Sunday night to open the whole thing. I went over and met him in Liverpool a couple of days ago, had a brilliant time with him. He's so wise. We ended up wearing flower crowns and listening to classical music.
What, on camera or later?
Later.
Okay. You went out afterwards.
No,
Looking forward to that.
Really
Looking
good.
forward to Holly Johnson. 11 minutes past 6. This is interesting. More than 320,000 young people have started their Duke of Edinburgh's award in the last year. 320,000. That's the highest number in the scheme's 67-year history. This morning, if you've completed the award in the early days or maybe just in the last few weeks, we would love to see volunteering, you name it, we want to see it this morning, 12 minutes past 6.
And if you are heading out on your practice expedition or coming up to your real assessment expedition, what do you need to know? What the weather's going to be like.
Coming up to 6:15, and the fight for eastern Ukraine, the city of Bakhmut there, has been one of the longest and bloodiest battles of the war so far.
But 9 months after Russian forces launched their assault, Ukrainian troops have resisted capture and are still holding out, as our defence correspondent Jonathan Beale reports.
Let's have a look at some of this morning's papers, shall we? Another health story for you now, because Owen Carey had just turned 18 when he died from a severe allergic reaction after eating a meal that restaurant staff assured him was safe.
Well, since his death in 2017, his parents have been campaigning for clearer allergy labelling on restaurant menus, and on Monday the issue will be debated in Parliament.
Our South West England correspondent Jenny Kumar has the story.
And on Monday we'll be talking about this in even more detail with Owen's family, who'll be here with us on the sofa.
It's 24 minutes past 6. We've already mentioned that coming up a bit later this morning, we've got another Eurovision treat for you, because in the spirit of togetherness and celebration this week, the 80s band Frankie Goes to Hollywood have reconciled and reunited on stage to launch the contest in Liverpool, singing together for the first time 36 years. That makes me feel really old.
I know. How do you think they feel?
They were a big part of life in the 80s,
Yeah, they
weren't
were. Well, I went and had a chat with frontman Holly Johnson to find out why now is the perfect time for them to get back together, and let's have a listen to what he had to say. He's very honest. He's also very, very wise. He was full of great life advice, which I know we're going to hear a little bit more from him at about 10 to 8. But he's got some great tales, Holly Johnson.
I'm just disappointed he wasn't wearing his relaxed T-shirt.
No, but he was very, very fashionable.
Yeah, he is.
We talked a lot about fashion, and as I said, we ended up in flower crowns, so, you know, it went quite well.
Always fashionable. Sally's interview with Holly will be on Breakfast this morning at 10 to 8.
We're back in just a minute, but now it's time to get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.